Hello, Motorized Bicycle family. It's Tony Taylor here. It's so good to see you. We are a few videos in to our Build It Custom series where we're taking our Switz Cruz cruiser style bicycle and turning it into more of a board track style, using my bike as an example here, okay? This video is going to be how to flip things around, change some things out, and make it more aesthetically like a board tracker, okay? Stay tuned. So here's the first thing that I want you to take in consideration is the lower profile aesthetics. Have you noticed where like the handlebars are flipped upside down, right? The speedometer is lower profile, it's not mounted up at the top. The seat is laid back more and lower, sitting lower. So an overall lower stance is achieved and a lower visual look is achieved. The second thing I take into consideration is the color theme. So we have a flat black paint scheme, and I've even aged things and painted this black and then cleaned up the edges, sanded the edges. Things like that, little touches here and there. We'll end up going much deeper into that as we move the bike along, even adding rust and things like that. But I want you to pay attention to the color theme is black, but then we have this copper colored, like vinyl seat, the bag, this cover that's not lasted very well, so we're gonna build a better one. And the grips are that copper colored. And then you can see the rust on the handlebars. Now, we have obviously newer handlebars on the Switz Cruz that you can see here. We'll end up painting them rusted out too, just so it has that same appearance. The cool thing about the Switz Cruz bike is this seat post is way more laid back than the one that's on my Schwinn. So I don't have to like cut and weld the seat post for it to have a laid back look. It's already there. We're gonna start with our aesthetics with this hairpin type leather seat. Now this is actually better than the one I have, as it's a real genuine leather shaped seat with a hairpin, suspension on it, which is way more comfortable than that guy. So let's start by just taking the seat off. I've already loosened it up. I think we can do a couple turns here. Yeah. We'll take that seat out to the side and pop on this hairpin style one. See, things like that, touches like that, give it a much older, old school vibe, more of an antique vibe, which is what we're going for. We'll take and push it down into the bike a little bit more, because again, we want that low profile. See, easy fix, already looking better, right? Remember, we're gonna put one of those tanks, the round tanks on the back. Bonk. So we're gonna have to modify it to make it work because of the angle. But we'll do that in a future video. Next up is flipping the handlebars upside down. So all of these things I've loosened up already, and we'll pull them off. Our throttle, our brake, our dual brake lever, our kill switch, because everything's going to get flipped around. Now I have one concern with these, and it is that these handlebars are generally wider for comfort upright than the ones that are on my bike. But we're going to just try it. Just try stuff, right? We can always get a different set if we decide that these aren't good. So this is pretty simple. We just loosen up the neck and Get it right in the center. I've even had a thought of cutting these off and putting everything here. We'll see. I may do that. These are a little wide, but we'll start right there. I'm okay with that. You may like it. You never know. Just try stuff, right? Yeah, I'm already digging this a lot more. I like things to be different. So we'll put our clutch on there, put our kill switch, our dual brake lever, and our throttle. All three of them right there. So you're just going to tighten everything back up. So I'm going to go out and around. So that'll make it much straighter. Snug everything up. We're just going to kind of get generally tight. And there we go. Like that. All right, you can see it already has a much lower profile appearance than it did before. Plus, removing the tank from the top helps lower it because you don't have this visual high tank, and we'll end up putting that round one back here. That guy. Be like, boom, right there. But you see how it already has a meaner, lower profile appearance, starting to look even more retro or more old school, I guess. I'm actually liking these handlebars this wide. I didn't think I would, but they're pretty freaking cool. Nice, huh? All right, so we've changed out the seat. That was pretty easy. We flipped the handlebars upside down. That was pretty easy. Okay, the final thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the speedometer and mount it so it's more low profile. All right, so you can see how the direction of the speedometer is and the way the bracket is. Most people just pull it out of the package and they mount it up top like that. Like I see that all the time. Like, hey, I got a speedometer, one of these analog style, and they mount it up like that. That's cool, but I want it so it's low profile. So now it's tucked kind of low within the handlebars and then your neck here, right? So here's mine on my bike, and don't mind this rubber ring. I found it on the side of the road and it fit perfect on there, so I just stuck it on there. It kind of comes loose. It's funny. But see how it's more lower versus sitting up here like this? Is how most people get them, and they mount them like that. Well, let's change that up, okay? So you'll see how I just spun it around because it just has this plastic nut there. And then the bracket, I just had to bend it so it conformed to that shape. Let's do that. So the first thing you have to do is I have to flip the screw around that holds the bracket. It's threaded into this part of the bracket here just to make it easy, but it won't work when I flip or when I fold the bracket into the housing. See, it'll bonk into that. We don't want that. So I'll just straighten it a little bit just to get the screw in there. Careful when you're wrenching on it. Don't be wrenching on it too hard because it'll break it. This will be good because this will hold it tight. All right, so I was able to tighten that up just like that. Now we're going to do this way. See, we want to go straight up to that 30, right? And you can see that it can go either way because it has these notches in it, both sides. So it's meant to mount either way, above or below. So we want to mark on here where the edge, kind of mark, can you see it? Where the edge of the housing is, because we have to bend around that. All right, we're going to use the vise. Go pretty much right against that screw until it smashes flat. So you can use a piece of wood or something on there just to get it all the same. Kind of like that. Kind of mangled it a little bit putting in the vise, but that's okay. Just take our pliers and reshape it. Cool thing about metal is you can always get it back to whatever it was for the most part. Like that. So let's check our fit for a bracket. I want to make sure that we get it the right direction, because we want the top and the bracket at the top, okay? And our screw right there is good. Let's take our plastic nut and put it on here. Just snug, because everything's just plastic right there. Cool. And we take and bend that around. Make sure it does that. Cool. That'll be our little rubber grippy insert thing here. So you can see that we have it all secure on here. We'll put our little rubber piece in here. I want it to sit just like that. Got to bend it around just like that. Got to use a little bit of force. The washer and our nut. It's going to smash it down there quite a bit. They're pretty sturdy. See, much lower appearance. Pretty cool, huh? Better than sticking up way up top here, huh? Wow, that doesn't even feel like the same machine. I mean, we had it white before, everything was upright. Now we've got it down, lean and mean, right? This is really fun. I'm super excited. So we're going to keep going on this. We're going to keep modifying it. I have some grips that are coming in that are that copper color. We're going to do a bunch more paint on it. Stick around. This is going to be exciting. And remember, we're doing a giveaway on this, okay? So you know what to do down below, right? Click on that link. Let's get added to the list. And then once these videos are up, we're going to give it away. So thank you so much for your time. I'm loving doing this series. Let's roll.